Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 12 Experimental, and here we are. We're back on my base after a little bit of a disaster in the previous video, and I probably never really explained what I was trying to do when I went out and tried to use an SV to visit another planet. My original game plan, and it's probably a little bit too optimistic given the nature of what this start is turning out to be, was to find a temperate planet or a cold planet which had some alien POIs in, where I could set a base up and effectively restart the game, but with the base that I'm currently standing on as a backup. But of course, that didn't go very well because I ran into some intense radiation, got some radiation burns, which is also emphasized another problem I got with this start. But what I've done since that video is I've gone through and looked at all the different planets in this sector, I suppose is the best way to describe it, and none of them look particularly friendly. So I think that strategy isn't going to work. And I think this kind of sums up this start. This start is really challenging my thoughts about some of the fundamentals of the game. And probably the best way to explain that is that if we come here, if I come into the large workshop, we go to the fridge and we go into here. We go to the medical here. You see this anti-radiation ointment. I mean, all it needs is mushrooms, plant protein, and herbal leaves. And in a normal start, this would be something you would just do automatically because there's mushrooms everywhere, except on this planet, of course. Like everything, all the basics seem to be in very great short supply. And just to kind of illustrate that is, since the end of the last video, I've played about an hour, and I actually went out looking for mushrooms, and also realized that there's no spices. And in the end, it wasn't until I got next to a Talon settlement that I actually found mushrooms and spices growing around it. All the main areas where you would normally find these plants scattered around weren't there. Even the trees, I went through some forested areas and there wasn't even any mushrooms in trees. And if any of you start on a normal start in the game, there's always mushrooms in trees, but not on this planet. And it also applies to the food as well. If I come into the food situation here, I'm still down eating cereals and milk and producing water because at the moment I need to go out and hunt. But another plant that seems to be in short supply here is vegetables. Again, normally on the edge of waters, you used to get the vegetable plants to pick up. So I'm even really starting to struggle a little bit if I show you here. I mean, this veggie burger, but a lot of these foods need vegetables and there's no vegetables around. So this really isn't a planet for healthy eating. That going through, I'm not making any excuses, but it means I've had to rethink a little bit about how I'm actually going to get out of this. And of course, the delay to phase 4 has given me an opportunity to try and meet these challenges. Probably the way I'm going to have to do it is fall back on what I would normally do, which I was hoping to do a bit quicker by going to another planet. And that is we're going to need a starter CV, which we can use as an operational base. Now, I'm kind of half tempted to go to resurrect the Wayfarer. But there's also a couple other ships from Jeff Randall. Let me just find it. I think it's the Kill Shade here. And he euphemistically describes these as starter CVs, but I mean, they look pretty awesome as a CV. We've also got the MCRN Pioneer 2. They all need roughly about the same amount of resources. So I'm thinking maybe the MCR Pioneer 2, or maybe we will go with the Krill Shade. I mean, let's say they all need roughly the same amount of materials. But in order to build that, we're going to have to go out looting capital vessels. I can't see any other way we're going to be able to do this. So that is what we're going to be doing. And so let's just check up here. Well, I suppose we better top up. And as some of you pointed out, the Arctic Cat was very limited in storage and all that. But I was hoping with the Arctic Cat, as I said, to put down, create a quick base, put out a portable constructor, and away we'd go. But it didn't work that way, unfortunately. Fridge, certainly going to need that. I've also made myself a decontamination kit, and I think I'm going to turn the plant protein into something else. There's no other real foods as such here, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. Certainly going to take those in case I get into trouble. Yeah, I think we'll put the plant protein in there. I mean, at the moment, I'm effectively living on energy bars, which is not a good way forward, but there's not much else I can do. The question is, how much do I want in the way of fuel or anything here? Do I need anything from here? Nope. Okay, let's just, I think we'll just take 2 of those. I mean, we could pull some stuff out the Arctic Cat, but I do want the cores. If we're going to do crash ships, we're going to have to call them. I think we're maybe take a few of these. I don't want to take too much because I want to take maximum advantage of the space. We've got a portable constructor. I'm going to take the heater cooler. Don't really need the water condenser. I don't think I'm going to need that. And I think that is about it. And what I'm thinking is, this is one of the reasons why I'm starting in the dark. I want to come out here. We got the crash capital vessel here, the Heidelberg, and I mean there's a lot of crash ships on this planet, but you got the crash midsection here. So I'm thinking coming out this way, maybe going past the Heidelberg again and seeing what else we can get from that. I'm just going to get in here. The power on, thrusters on. And where is the Heidelberg? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fly east and get into daylight and see if we can do a bit of serious looting. And once we get into daylight, I'm going to drop down and see if we can do a bit of hunting as well to get some meat, get some steaks. So we may have to pick on innocent creatures, but at the same time, there isn't that much in the way of creatures on this planet either. I mean, all we got is those rather annoying insect creatures, and they don't actually give any food. So, oh, I'm just... Oh, we need to go a bit south. South. Right, this is actually in the water. Let me just check something first. We got 699 out of... Yeah. Probably the easiest way to do this will be to land on top and core it. Am I in Xerox territory? Okay, we're right on the edge of Xerox territory. So we may have a little bit of hostility here. Oops. Yeah, I'm just going to land. If I can land here. And of course, another problem with this planet is going to be the temperatures. So we just land here. And turn the thrusters off. And so we can hook out a core. Oops, nope. I put the cores in the player. Well, one thing I do want to do is knock out 3 more energy bars. This is, one has a very boring diet at the moment. Now just drop that up there. Let's see what lovely joys and pleasures we've got inside of here. We've got a few thrusters. We've got a growing light. That could be interesting because that might mean that we've got grow plots here. Got a couple of tier 2 fuel tanks. I think we're going to check out the growing light first and see what that is. Can't grow light. Right, I think what we're going to do is just set up the link to here. And of course, what we're going to do is retrieve whole blocks, get the maximum amount of resources. Oh, we got grow plots. Thank you, game. Clear this deck off a little bit. You can see what's going on. I'm aware that this isn't going to be particularly that exciting. Grow plot there. Got just 1 grow plot. You've got to be kidding me, game. And we've got here armor locker. We'll take that. O2 station. Oops. Actually, let's just loot out the cargo boxes first. make it a little bit easier. Oops. Okay, let's into the freedom ammo box. Well, we'll take the ammo. Of course, the trouble is my storage vault is going to fill up very quickly, so this is going to be a little bit tedious. I think what I'm going to be doing is literally shoving everything up into the factory. So I'm just going to come here. And we're probably going to get the spoiled food. Yes, goes without saying that there'll be spoiled food. Right, I think we'll just keep going for the moment. So, oh, we got tier 2 fuel tanks. We'll take those. They're going to be useful. That's the only grow plot I've got here. Oh, let's just have a see if we can get a little bit of a dig out. Right, let's just keep going for the moment. Maybe this isn't probably one of the better ships to have started with, but oops, thank you. Actually, let's find the thrusters. Right, we got what we got here. We've got a small thruster. Show on HUD. See, hopefully they'll be grouped together, and you should be able to. Oops. Wait. Right, there's a thruster there. Oops, don't do that. You've got to clear the tags first before you remove the thruster. Another one there. That means there's a good chance there'll be some on the other side. And fly through. Really want hardened steel blocks as well. Okay. Oh well. So much for that idea. Okay, let's just have a quick look. Got a regular medium thruster here. It's 53 meters that way. So it looks like we got thrusters on the back. Oops. Ah. Thank you, game. Let's get the thrusters out to get started. Right, cannot pick up, fill up. Okay, thank you. And let's get rid of this. I can hear a arachnid. I can hear a pteropod in the background as well, which is probably not helping very much. Grow plot steel. Steel blocks. Let's fill up the tire. Toolbar. Change to here. F2. I think at this point we don't need to worry too much about which ship we go. We'll start with the MCR Pioneer and take it from there. I mean, we've got a long way to go. Get to the neodymium and everything else. So we're just going to chuck everything we can in here. We've got a whole one grow plot. And everything we can in here. Let's see. It should be. Oh. Thank you, game. Right, let's just get back to here. We've got one thruster left. Small thruster. Where are you hidden? You're hidden down in here somewhere. Take the lights. 23 meters. We'd love some armored steel blocks to get the titanium plates. That there. Well, I'll take the decor console. I'll take anything I can at the moment. Just do a little bit of a drill through here, clear some of the stuff away. There's the thruster. Get rid of that so I can don't get tags everywhere. Got enough tags as it is now, so right, let's just cancel that. How's planetary pick that up? Yep. Oops, nearly lost that thruster. This ship only has steel blocks. Okay. Maybe we need to go back to the Heidelberg and see what we can get. Anyway, let's just get some. Pump this off. Got a few hardened steel plates, so they must be coming from somewhere. I think we can tuck those into here, into my normal. Whoops, I fell that up. Some steel blocks, destroyed blocks. Take anything at the moment. Two. Say apologies that this is going to be a little bit of a drag, but that's the way it is. So Sathium is going to be a challenge. I don't recall. I think I've got a little bit of Sathium. And put that in there. Anything else of great value here? We've got a core, bunk, ventilation, passenger seat, signal sensors. We've got one turret that doesn't exist. We've got the tank, got a fridge, which I've already looted. We've emptied the thrusters, cargo box, ammo box. I think what I'm going to do is I'll just leave this here. We're going to go back to the Heidelberg and see what I can get there. And we're just going to thrusters on. Where's the Heidelberg? Why won't my ship lay flat? Right, we need to go west. Let's get back to. We've got everything we can out of the dark. Whenever I land in an area like this, where I have the alien insect creatures crawling all over us. I'm just going to take a look at this one. Steel block, steel block. Anything else in here? Yeah, I mean, we got some thrusters in here. We've got regular thrusters. Oh, a whole load of thrusters. Yes, this is by far the better source. I think I emptied all the cargo boxes, didn't I? Okay, we got a large constructor, 2%. Let's just take the thrusters and see what we can find. Oh yeah, we're certainly going to get these out the back. Grab you. Hopefully there'll be 2 more on the other side. And I've done it again. I've not cancelled the tag first. Oh, there's no more on that side. Oh well. There's some hardened steel blocks here. We certainly want the hardened steel blocks. It's just be a bit careful. Hardened steel blocks are more important than the steel blocks, but let's grab everything we can. Right, we've got a couple more thrusters here on this side. Probably won't be able to get many more before it says inventory full, but we'll go for it. Yeah, inventory full. Thank you, game. Up this here. And at the moment, I just want to get all the resources. We've got 1 hardened steel block. You got to be kidding me, game. Get the thrusters, large constructor. Not. Oh, thank you, game. You are not helping at all. Okay, I'll get this done very quickly before we have to defend this ship from hostiles. Quick. I mean, I must be half tempted just to loot out what's left, and but okay, let's jump into the ship. And yeah, I mean, there's more. Yeah, we might as well defend ships. So make thrusters on. Oh wow! I've doubled up now. I've got 2 troop camp transports coming in. Okay, game, thank you. Yeah, the base attacks, this is probably about the 3rd base attack I've actually had. The other 2 have been against my actual base that I've actually done. And how can I say? Things have been fairly interesting. If I can see the boys. Let's go to first person. Okay, there. Not that. I think there's probably going to be 3 the other side. I'm probably going to lose the base. You can see they're trying to take the base over. Ah, get out the trees. What on earth are you doing, game? In fact, where are you? I can't see you. Where are you? There they are. Right. I think that's it. Congratulations, you successfully defended your base. You've actually... I don't know why I'm getting lopsided. I don't know that's because the loading that's in there. They've actually destroyed my core. Okay. We'll go tooled up. Well, we certainly want to loot these guys. We might actually have something to eat. I mean, at the moment, I even take salami. Doesn't say much to the game when you even appreciate. Come on. No, you're not going to play ball. That was interesting. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm just going to jump back into the ship. Go back up. Get back up on top. We'll see if we can. Of course, we're going to have to re-core it now because they've destroyed the core, which is annoying, but that's the way it is. Thrusters off. And what we got here? Certainly wouldn't mind the sandwich. Gotta be kidding me. They've really nerfed the food in this game now. Okay, let's just put this into the fridge. Put that into the fridge. You hear we only get 47 food from salami. Get 47 from that. We'll just eat that. We'll have some cereal. Get things up a little bit. Okay. Oops, forgot. Where's all my cores gone? I had 5 cores. Oh, great. How am I going to get this? I don't think I've got the resources to make a core now. So we're going to have to do a bit of looting to find the core. Did I actually put the core? I had 5 cores. I'm sure I had. Oh no, there they are. They're on my inventory bar. I won't. Oh, they've put an alien core down. Oh, thank you. Forgot that. Okay, we're just gonna have to. Of course, we can't. Hack their cores. It'd be really cool if you could. But what we're gonna have to do is get down here. I'll do it with the Gatling guns. Here we are, boys. Thank you. I think what would. Yeah, it was my fail there. Oops, a daisy. Get into here. I'm starting to get the feeling this planet is determined to thwart me at every possible opportunity. Right, let's get off this ship here and drop down here. And what we're going to do is focus on getting the thrusters out as quickly as possible. Got 1 thruster there. We got 1 thruster there. 1 thruster there. So hopefully they will be grouped together. And away we go. Is the make sure everything is set up. Yep. A little bit of space. That's a regular thruster there. Retrieve blocks. I'm not going to worry about the tags. It's just an irritating me. So we've got a thruster there. Oh. Of course, that's the one that I've already got. Right. Not sure which thruster. Not sure which thruster this one actually is. What we'll probably do is just go across here and see if the ship is symmetrical. What we got down there? It's just a cargo box. I'm aware that in some ways I am undermining the ship. Okay, we're gonna have to do it the hard way, one at a time. Right, it says it's over that way. And they're probably all underneath this area here. We just have to. Oh, hardened steel block, we'll take that. I certainly want these black hardened steel blocks. Certainly gonna harvest those. I'll take all of these. So I'm not too worried about the other stuff. There's nothing in that section. Lost contact with your drone. Yes, thank you, game. Let's just dump this in here. So we can keep the inventory as empty as possible. Technical equipment. Oops, I want to throw that away. Empty that out. F2. I'm just going to keep dropping this in. I mean, the titanium should come up here. I mean, we're doing quite well with some of the other stuff. Carbon substrate. I've got a feeling it's going to be the grow plots that are going to be a challenge. If I remember correctly, that's exactly what happened last time. Was finding the. So we got 2 of these left now. small thruster. Thank you, game. You're going to put the thrusters up onto the other part of the ship, so... Oops. We'll just power up. And it's the two missing thrusters up here, so I land here. Do it a bit precarious, so what I'll do is just up a bit, across a bit, down. Nope, it's not gonna. Okay, this isn't gonna play ball, so what we're gonna do is just drop down here and just line up. Take off you two. Take these off. Right, we've got some nice hardened steel blocks up here. Anything that's hardened would be useful. Hardened steel, yep. Because this will give me titanium. So we're just gonna steel, hardened. That's hardened. Take you. Got here. Take the ammo container. Oh, this is a nice crop of hardened steel blocks here. Container extension, not bunk beds. Oh, oops, what we've got here? What did I miss? Oh, we'll take that. That'd be useful. Take that. Take the ventilator. Kind of working on things at a slight angle here. I'll take the toilet. I mean, I could put the toilet and shower back on my base, because that would effectively give me something to work. Take the O2 tanks as well. Right, I think I'm probably getting a bit overloaded now. Certainly going to put that in there, that in there. Get rid of the steel plates, ventilator, the large constructor, fuel tanks. Put everything we can in at the moment. So what we're going to get here? See how much? Yeah, I think if we can find lots of thrusters, then neodymium won't be a problem. My main concern is the saphium. Although I think I've got some saphium ore back on. So yeah. No, we've gone over the top of wood planks anyway. Well, we've made a little bit of progress. Have a look through. Anything? Nothing of major value left on here now. So I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to go after any hardened steel blocks and steel blocks in general. And I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to, because we've got all the valuable stuff, I think what we're going to do is kind of go a bit industrial on the ship now and see if we can chop off a section. I mean, this is not as efficient, but I think with the number of crashed ships on this planet, we can afford to be a little bit generous with the steel plates. What have we got there? This is a grow light. Oh, look at that. We've got 1, 2, 3, and we'll take the grow light. It's almost like this ship is on its side, isn't it? Okay, destroyed blocks. Oh, some more there. Take those. They're as good as gold dust at the moment. And of course, grow plots don't actually show up in the inventory. I must admit, I missed the grow lights, so that's probably for anyone who put a comment in. I apologise. Right, I've got some hardened steel blocks here. Take those. Keep hacking away at the. Thank you, game. Wow, going through a lot of the fuel. Take you out. Another hardened steel block there. Get you out of the way so I can actually see what's going on. An armor locker. Another O2 station there. I think in some ways this is the bottom of the ship that's on its side, isn't it? Oops. Steel. Hardened steel. Take you. Hardened steel there. Take you. Steel block there, hardened steel there, hardened steel there. Right, inventory full. Grow plots definitely need to go in. Got a little bit of titanium plates. That can go in, that can go in. 25 hardened steel blocks, one ordinary steel block. Medical devices. Can I get those in? No, they won't go in there. I think I'm going to keep the medical devices so that maybe I put stuff in. What else we got? Yeah, I think the medical devices could be quite useful back on my base. What we're going to do is, yeah. F2 again. That gives me 7 out of 27. But if I can get, say, 20, I can manufacture the rest. Automatic doors. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, that's really working with the titanium. I mean, to be honest, if push comes to shove, if I get to a point where I've got to go out and risk some of those more exciting planets again, and we'll do it. Anyway, I've just noticed the time, so what I'm going to do is call it for the video here. I think you've probably got the gist of what I'm going to have to do quite big time, and just to get back into here. So we got a long way to go with the iron, but that's not a problem. I can cut this ship up and get the iron. The neodymium, we're going to need some more thrusters. Carbon substrate is no problem. Cobalt in its own way isn't a problem because there are cobalt deposits on this planet. Silicon could be an issue because silicon's quite rare. The real big problem is going to be Sathium and the grow plots. So what I will do off camera is I will carry on chopping these ships up, trying to get as much out of them as possible, get some of the basics out of the way, and hopefully by the next video we will have at least an operational CV, so then we can go out and explore some of these more hostile planets with an attitude. But this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.